Good evening again, everybody. Yeah, my name's Dodgy Git, and this is Dodgy Git Show. This is the third Dodgy Git Show this evening. God, we're breaking records daily, aren't we, eh? Yeah, Dodgy Git Show 62. Welcome, everybody, from wherever you are around the world. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for picking my channel to come and check out what's next. What is next? Got another one going up. Another one of these, look. Hey? You're like 15 minutes out. I'm going to flip you over doing that transition thing again. Yeah, hopefully I won't throw myself off the top of the screen like I did about 10 minutes ago. I sorted it out in the end, but again, I failed. I'm playing with it. I said at the beginning of all this, and I failed. Yeah, I threw my own picture off the top and get it back. I was like, oh my goodness. I had to click a load of shit and then I got it back again, but it's learning, yeah? Anyway, let's check out the rocket, man. We got SpaceX with Falcon 9 launching Starlink satellites, yeah? And this is mission, it's 22 satellites going out on mission 6 or something like that. Six batch or something, don't know. Yeah, anyway, we've got who's this we got? Hang on, let me have a look. NASA space flight we have hosting, so we're going to say thanks to the guys over there. I'm going to transition over, yeah. I'm going to let you listen to their commentary because they're very good at it, but far better than me at the detailed stuff. They spend all day, every day researching and everything. I'm just presenting to you what I see and what I like to listen to from time to time. Is this a pastime? Anyway, I'll transition you over here. We'll have a little look. There we go. And we'll put this on. We'll click that because I'm going to make sure we're up there.
At the same time that you can then replenish.
We're down. We got 12 minutes. Look, 12 minutes. Bang on. Right, so we're not doing too bad. This NASA space flight's got 3,409 people watching it. So it's exceptionally popular for picking up anything to do with space, really. Yeah, this one's a SpaceX. NASA's always involved with all kinds of goings on, aren't they? You know how it works. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move myself across the other side of the screen because I'm on top of the countdown clock, aren't I? So if I stick myself over there and then I'll wiggle that, I don't want those in there, do we? There you go. Yeah, anyway, what brought you to the channel? Is it purely the desire to see space technology succeed, or do you work in space flight? Do you want to work in space flight? Is it something you could see yourself doing as a career? Yeah, it's certainly achievable for people that want to do it. Yeah. Horses for courses, as they say, isn't it? It's horses for courses. A little bit better. You can see the countdown clock now, everybody. Look, we're at 10 minutes. So you don't want to get there too early. So you'd be hanging around too long, wouldn't you? Hey, 10 minutes is fine. We can have a little chinwag about this rocket. We're going to let the commentators commentate, yeah? I've introduced and I'm presenting. We'll let the commentators do their bit and make sure we're up to date.
It blows my mind.
Thanks for joining me, everybody. If you'd like to hit the like and subscribe, much appreciated. 9 minutes 50.
How many launches were happening? Those 12 launches per year from every space agency combined on the planet. In just that short time, we've gone from, a couple of launches a year from the Cape to a couple launches a week from the Cape. It's mind-blowing, the speed and the pace, and especially the reusability. The fact that you have Falcon 9 boosters that are flying for a 14th time and it seems normal. The fact that you have other space companies that are now working on reusability in addition to
No, he's buffering a lot because there's so many people on his doodah. What was he talking about there? How you learn from making mistakes and stuff, isn't it? He was
if we're 10 or 15 launches short of that, that's still over 120 launches.
Oh, that's right. He's discussing the normalization of it, and it does become normalized. That's the whole process of the education system. Yeah, this is again, it's just a learning system. Yeah, that gets used to progress. Yeah, it's gonna fail. Some things fail. Yeah, yeah, we learn from them.
Basically, in the 21st century, worldwide was 1990.
Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll turn
So
the
ever
chat
since
off,
the
actually.
fall of the
I'll stay on
Soviet
for a
Union,
minute.
pretty much.
Wow.
And
So you have to rewind about
2018
over 30 years. Wow.
Yeah, and since 2018, it's been more than 100 launches worldwide, and this year is probably going to be the first one with more than 200 launches. Because already we are, I think, almost 160 launches worldwide.
Isn't that incredible, don't you think, viewers? 200 launches a year. Yeah, not much more, and it's one every day, right?
Which, by the way, speaking of, 7 minutes. So do want to point out that up to this point, the first stage has continually been loaded up with RP1, which is rocket propellant 1, which is a refined form of kerosene, as well as liquid oxygen, or loxygen as I like to call it here. And the second stage has completed the RP1 load and has now been loading liquid oxygen onto the second stage. And now that we are at T-minus 7 minutes, I believe they're getting ready to prime up the Merlin 1D engines, right, Alex?
Indeed. So right now the engine chill procedure is underway. You know, the Merlin engine uses liquid oxygen, and so it has liquid oxygen pumps. And these pumps, right now, well, right now they do have things, but a few seconds ago they didn't have anything. They were at room temperature. And if you think about it, flowing liquid oxygen at the full pressures and flows that they have to do for ignition will be very, very dangerous. And so they flow a little bit of that liquid oxygen through those pumps at lower pressures and lower flows to be able to lower their temperature down to the same temperature as the liquid oxygen, so they don't flow then, you know, if you were to flow them with the pumps at room temperature, then they will turn into gas. You will have bubbles and things like that. You won't want to have that on your pumps, because then they will be destroyed, right? And so that's one of the things that they are doing right now. Also, at the same time, they have probably already wrapped up RP1 load on the first stage. So
I think he's talking about cavitation of pumps when you get air bubbles caught in the pump blades as it's rotating, yeah? And what ends up happening is the blade, the leading edge of the blade, ends up going from the material that it's supposed to be in there to the air bubble, to the material, to the air bubble. So you end up impacting the front of the thing with your own material. It's like you're trying to, like, if you were pumping water, say, it's like you're continually trying to punch water because the air bubble's in there. And it also means that you're not moving as much fluid through the pump, so it's inefficient. Yeah, and it's also unbalanced because it's got air on one side and one blade and water on the other, or whatever other fluid. So you end up breaking things with cavitated pumps. Anyway, there you go. And of course, frozen valves. Yeah, there's no point having a valve totally shut and the other side pressurized frozen, because when you go to open it, it just won't move, or you'll bend the next bit. Yeah, So you just let it trickle through. It almost like washes its own ice away. Yeah, and it also reduces the temperature of everything, so they're similar temperatures. They're not dissimilar. And then it just prevents errors and cracking and stuff.
For example, you could be, in Florida and not really see much of a solar eclipse, whereas down in Starbase, you get something closer to the annular eclipse, the so-called ring of fire that you see with it. So I don't think that's going to have any impact on the...
T-minus 4 minutes here with the SpaceX Falcon 9 launch of the Starlink 6-22 mission. Thank you very much for joining me. My name's Dodgy Git, and this is the Dodgy Git Show, as you well know, because that is why you came here, to listen to me, Dodgy Git, chatting about whatever we chat about here. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thanks very much, everybody. We're under 4 minutes. It's hotting up, or is it getting cold?
So just keep an eye out for those, but hopefully you get to see some good views down there. And in the meantime, we're keeping an eye here for the good views as well. As this point, we should be coming up on some major events shortly, including the completion of fueling, and hopefully that will be coming up very soon. That is going to be, once we get to T-minus 1 minute, they will pressurize the vehicle to flight pressures. That's also when Falcon 9 will enter startup. That is when the vehicle will be controlled completely by the onboard computers. We're now...
Well, I'm just going to move myself out of the way. I'll let you enjoy the flight, and I'll see you just after that. Is the back end coming back down, I'm presuming? Once they've landed the back end, I'll come back again. But yeah, lots of love to all of you from me, Dodgy Git. Yeah, have a nice flight. Godspeed.
standing by on that for a second. It appears as if we have
I've heard
new T0.
liquid oxygen. Yeah, liquid oxygen load is complete on the booster, and they are right now wrapping up liquid oxygen load on the second stage.
There we go. We're now at 2 minutes away, excuse me. So about T-minus 2 minutes and counting from liftoff here. But still, 1 minute is when we will see Falcon 9 entering startup. As mentioned, the onboard computers would take control. That is followed also at the time when all the tanks get to flight pressure, so they will fully pressurize them all the way up to that flight pressure.
And stage 2 LOX load is now complete. The Falcon 9 is now fully loaded with propellants ahead of its launch.
Hence the vent that we're also seeing on screen, one final purge there of the lines in the transporter erector. So that gets rid of any leftover liquid oxygen that was being loaded up in there, clears it out with the liquid nitrogen so that there's no potential for random extra sparks or anything there. At this point, we are now about 80 seconds away or so from liftoff. I do want to point out, again, we will not be talking over the launch. We will be quiet during that point. We will let you listen to the sound, which you will not hear right away. The sound does take some time to travel the 3 or 4 miles or so where it is from pad 40 to our cameras and microphones at the press site.
I'd just like to say thanks you to everybody at SpaceX and at NASA spaceflight presentation team. Thanks very much. Godspeed to you. I'll leave you with it.
Confirming that we are on time for liftoff. And we are now less than 30 seconds away from launch. T-minus 20 seconds now. Getting to the final count here. And we have a hold.
Hold.
Launch abort is running. The hold officially occurring at T-minus 23 seconds.
See how easily it happens, look. 9 seconds left. We're on hold.
Launch controller is officially calling a hold.
I wonder what happened then, eh? Let's hang around to find out.
And at T-minus 23 seconds, the clock has stopped. So at this point, that's when the onboard computers would be in charge of a hold at this point, right, Alex?
Yeah, well, We don't know right now what is the cause of the hold, so we're not sure if it is the computers or not. It sounded like it might have been a manual aboard, though.
Where all of the controllers discuss these things, it was the manual call of hold, 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 which is three people, or basically the three words you don't want to hear in a row, that something is not right for launch, so it stops the clock. It could be any number of issues. It could be something related to the range, if there's a boat or a plane that goes into a keep out area. It could be an issue, something to do with the vehicle, which it could be any number of things. First stage, second stage, could be some pressures weren't correct. All of this, again, is speculative. We do not know the exact reason yet, but all of these are possible as, again, we acknowledge a hold currently on the launch. We also don't know yet if they will be able to recycle for another attempt later tonight, if it's a quick hold, or more than likely, if this will end up being a scrub and having to launch again or try again another day.
I hope it wasn't a cruise ship.
I hope not as well. There's definitely some venting, it seems like, coming from around the rocket, but once again, at this point, nothing that was visible to you, Max, correct?
Yeah, correct. Everything looked nominal from our perspective, and through my camera, I'm looking now. I can't really see anything out of the ordinary. Could be something internal on the vehicle, or it could be a wayward boat, or even an aircraft violating the TFR. So it could be a vast number of things, but from what my Mark 1 eyeballs are telling me, I cannot see an exact reason why from here.
Yeah. TFR is the temporary flight restrictions that go in place. Those are typically there to avoid any wayward planes or anything accidentally getting damaged by a rocket or falling rocket parts, both in terms of landing and or in the event of an anomaly. They have similar keep-out zones as well in the water, too, for the exact same reason. You don't want anything falling down on a mariner just in case.
One of the things to also consider with this is that they, in theory, have another opportunity at 12:33 a.m. The only problem is that
I'm back again.
these deep into account.
Right, I'm going to look for some ships now and see if it's a ship to do with it.
Fuel the rocket.
I'll leave this plane over the top so you can hear the commentary, and I'll do a bit of research for us, eh?
Causing this hold needs to be solved by that time. So I'm not really fully sure if they're going to be able to try again today. But, yep.
So in theory, that would likely equate to a scrub, especially there with what we just saw on screen. But so far, still no reason has been given by controllers for this. Nothing has been posted to any of their social media channels yet. No current updates on what exactly happened there. At this point, we are continuing to wait for any more information that we can provide you. And a reminder again, right now it is still technically just a hold. We have not gotten official word yet on if they would be able to recycle one more time for tonight, or if it is officially a scrub and we would have to try again another day. Which it is worth noting, if that does happen, per SpaceX, they do have 2 backup opportunities available tonight, which we've already hit one of the 2. Tomorrow there are 6 backup opportunities, starting at 8:42 p.m. Eastern on Monday, October 9th, continuing till about 12:10 a.m. Tuesday on October 10th. Alex, we don't tend to see many of these, do we? With the holds, at least anymore, this close to the countdown, right?
Yeah, it's a rare thing. It is also at the same time, because we've had a few, but it is also true that it's been like 3 or 4 in a matter of like 60 or 70 launches. It appears that there are more because they are launching more, right? But when you take into account how many times they have launched, or at least they have attempted to launch, it's actually not that many holds that they have had, or like scrubs altogether. and most of the time it is due to some little thing going on, like some sensor or something like that. Luckily, we haven't had any sort of issues with the range, or as we were mentioning before, like the marine zones, the aerial zones. So far, it's been very calm in that area, and knock on wood, that keeps being the case. It's been mostly sometimes something going on with a rocket or going on with the launch pad, but overall, it's been very, very calm. And again, there's been scrubs, there's been holes in the past, especially this summer. We had a few from both Vandenberg and the Cape. But in the overall scheme of things, when you take into account how many times they are launching, it's actually not that many. It seems that they are more precisely because they are launching much more than before.
Yeah, but and again, even still, just in terms of comparison for how often these end up going, this still seems on the rarer side now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. It appears we have an official update
to talk about that.
Yes. So, per SpaceX, we are standing down from tonight's Falcon 9 launch attempt due to upper level winds. Next available opportunity, 8:42 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. So, Max, why are the upper winds significant?
The upper winds are significant for Falcon 9 because it is one of the more susceptible rockets at the Cape to wind shears. Rockets have Falcon 9, or any rocket really, has a certain threshold of what they can and can't fly through.
Talking about that earlier, weren't we? Thresholds. Yeah, bumping off stops. That's it. That's why you put them there. Yeah, because last time that you had a problem if you went over there. Yeah, or if you went that way, or you went too much pressure, too much cold, too much heat. It's going to start affecting that delicate machine. Yeah, its environment needs to be just right. Yeah, much like you, the human being. Yeah, much like me, the human being. Yeah, making 3 videos in a row at 4:45 a.m. in the morning on a Monday. Most people would be getting up in an hour and going to work. Yeah. Dodgy Git's had a bit of a dodgy night. Yeah. It's quite distressing though, seeing the stuff I have. So you have to distract yourself, don't you? With something a bit different. So tonight I thought I'd cover those 2 rocket launches, which I always find quite fun. It's like a build-up, innit? And then they fuck it up right at the end. Yeah. Just when you think you're gonna launch just right, don't you? Yeah, everything's going to plan, innit? All of a sudden. Yeah. Anyway, before I go to bed, and if you're up and you're going to bed soon, yeah, bless you. Bless all those people that are having issues around the world, yeah? We think about them, yeah? Yeah, so I wanna share my love with you out there, the big wide world, yeah? Because I shared my love with you, you got some love and you can share it about with your fellow human beings, can't you? Yeah. Promise me you'll do that, yeah? Yeah? You'll see it back, yeah? But you don't do it for that, you'll see it back, yeah? It's like paying forward. Just pay forward with nice, yeah? I'm Dodgy Git. This has been Dodgy Git Show 62. It's 12 minutes to 5 in the morning on the 9th of October 2023. It's Dodgy Git from the Dodgy Git Shows. Sending my love to you. Night, good morning, good evening, happy breakfast. Have a nice day.